Hey, if you've been stuck at 0 followers because of overthinking, tech complications, or video editing headaches, then what I'm about to show you will be a game changer because I've discovered a way to use AI to eliminate these major roadblocks. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I create simple little videos like nothing you've ever seen before that build my audience without me doing any video editing, using complicated tech stuff, or getting stuck trying to come up with what to post next. I'll take you step by step through creating these for yourself so you can go from 0 followers or wherever you are now to a thriving audience. I'm going to talk you through a few of the options you have here, and the third one is my favorite, so stick around for that one. First off, my name is Jim Shirley. I help regular people get results online with making money, creating content, and also building digital products, all using AI. Listen, I have a free community which you're invited to join. I'd love to have you in there. The community has all of the AI prompts that I create, that I use for doing all the different stuff I show in my videos. There's free courses, and of course, you get a chance to talk with me one-on-one, ask questions, and all of that kind of stuff. You can find a link to that community down in the description, and it's free to join. So anyway, let's get going. All right, so here are a couple of the ways that we can do this. Now, the first one, and this is probably my favorite because it works so good, is to actually create simple little videos that just have a little text and a little image on them. And I'm going to show you what that looks like here in just a second. Let's hop over onto my Canva screen. This is probably my favorite one because you can do this anytime, even if you're like on the train or at work or whatever, all these places where maybe you can't get on your phone and talk to it and that kind of thing. So I love this one. It's super fun to create too. So all we have to do is basically go into your Canva. Now you do have to have Canva for this. You can even do it with the free Canva, but it costs $12.95 a month if you do the pro plan. And I'm a huge proponent. Like, I'm not affiliated with them. All we do is we just go in to the kind of home page area, all right? And we're just going to create a design once you get logged in. Same concept from your phone. It just looks a little different because it's a smaller screen, but we just hit that plus sign. And then what we're going to do is we're going to create a video. Okay, so we can do this mobile video. Okay, so let me show you how this works. We've got this design. We're going to create something that's very similar to what I just showed you 1 second ago. That looks like this. Okay, and it only takes a couple of seconds to create these. And we can use AI to come up with all of the text that we need to put on these little images. Okay, so these are super awesome. You don't have to do any video editing. I love it. AI kind of comes up with the topic ideas and all of that, so it's super fun to create. All right, the first thing that we do is we just click in here so that we can get over here to this elements thing, and then we're just going to search for some sort of like beach scene. You can choose whatever you want. I just go into either the videos or the photos. Let's do videos. All right, and then I just want like an empty one like this. So I'm just going to drag that out here. All right, and then it's going to fill up the thing. Now, one thing that'll happen, I only want this video to be like a few seconds long, and this video that I dragged on is like 45 seconds. So what you can do is you can just toggle this little thumbnails button thing down here at the bottom, and you can kind of shrink the size of all of this, okay, way down to be like 6 seconds, 7 seconds, something like that. Okay, so I'm just going to make that around like 7 seconds. And see, now when we hit play over here, it's just going to be like water. All right, so that's a perfect background. That's kind of all we need. And that's just going to loop when it gets posted on TikTok or Instagram or whatever like that. Okay, and then the next thing we're going to do is just go right back here to the elements, and we're just going to grab a shape. All right, so I'm just going to make like a shape that's like about the same size as the screen here. Definitely leave a gap, especially on the right side and at the top and at the bottom, because depending on where you post this stuff, like there may be like buttons and stuff like that over there. So you don't want your stuff kind of getting hidden by the social media platforms, buttons and all of that. Okay. And then all we do is we just grab some text. All right. So I'm going to put like some white text on there. Let's just make that white. And what did we have? Now, this is a great formula. I'm going to put this in my prompt document along with some of the other stuff we'll be seeing here in a few minutes, but there's some really good formulas for these videos. And one of them is the did you know? Okay, and I just do 3 dots, or you can do a question or something like that. All right, so now in this case, one that I was using is this is a copy of a post that I have on one of my TikTok accounts that did really well. So one of the things that we do here is we just say, hey, I'm looking for some benefits of cucumbers. Now, going back a few steps, we can actually ask for all sorts of tips, like health tips that relate to food, that relate to vitamins, that relate to exercise, or, all sorts of different things, right? The possibilities are endless, and AI will help you come up with a list of topics which you can basically just go into every day when you're ready to create a post, and you can just kind of copy one. Now, one of the tricks I like to use, and I'll leave this in my prompt document, is I say, hey, what are some of the benefits of cucumbers, right? And it gives me a list. And then I say, what are the benefits of the benefits? All right, so this is where we can actually get to stuff that kind of matters to people a little more deeply than the basic AI response. So this is where we get to some of the real good stuff. Okay, it gives you better energy, it gives you stronger bones, it helps lower diabetes risk, like some of the good stuff. Okay, so we can just take 1 or 2 of these things and basically make them into our video. All right, so the next thing we're going to do here is we're just going to go to elements. Now, since this one happens to be about cucumbers, I just like to find some sort of basic graphic. Now, these are the things that have worked the best for me on my TikTok channel, and that is to find stuff that is like kind of basic and almost, like that one's almost too good. Like the kind of, I don't know how best to say this, but like the clumsier it looks sometimes, the better, okay? And so I don't mean to call this one clumsy, but let's see if we can make this a little lighter. Yeah, okay, that works. Did you know? And then we'll put some text right down below here, okay? We won't get sidetracked. All right, so there's our text. It looks pretty small, but let's just increase the size on that up to 45. Okay, and again, let's make it white. Boom. All right, and then what we've got here is just some benefits. So eating cucumbers isn't just healthy, it can make you, okay, so I'm just gonna copy this little statement here just for the sake of our video, versus what I usually do is I kind of like pick and choose a few of the things out of here that really stand out to me, okay? But rather than make you watch all of that, I'm just going to do something like this. Now, part of what works good here, you may be thinking, oh, let's make this into a bigger font. And I would tend to agree with you. However, one of the things that works really well in short form videos is to get people like looping through your videos. And so a way you can do that is by putting just a little bit more text on there than they can read in the couple of seconds that the video has before it loops, okay? And so the more times they watch the video, sometimes the better that is. I'm no expert on any of this stuff, but I think I've read that, I've heard people talk about that. It seems to have worked for me, and so I will definitely go ahead and do that. So let's do this. Let's go ahead and click on that text, and then I'm going to click animate. All right, I'm going to make it the typewriter thing. So not only is it like going to take them a second to grab this information, but I don't even want it to all appear at once. So we'll use that animate thing so that it just kind of types it on there real fast. So this whole thing happens in 7 seconds. All right, so let's hit play. Okay, and I want this text down here to come on a little later. So what I'm going to do is, you can probably see this down here. Down at the bottom of this screen is this big purple line that says eating cucumbers. So since I have this text highlighted, see if I highlight the cucumbers, then that kind of puts the little cucumber picture in there. If I highlight this text down at the bottom, then I can actually, with my mouse, I can kind of, or you can use your finger if you're on a phone, you can hover over that and then you can basically drag the text. So now what's going to happen is if I drag our little play button thing over here to the left and start again, now see how that works. So it's did you know, and then they have to like wait a second. Like naturally they want to wait just 1 second to see what is going to happen with what it's going to say. Okay, and then it starts spelling it out. So we get kind of good, better watch time on it, but it's just a trick to kind of help people engage with it beyond that like 1.5 second or 2 second time frame. So that's what we'll do. Now, how easy is that? You can create these all the time now. You can basically use this as a formula, right? So once you have this particular mock-up created, like you can reuse this one every week, right? If you just create a new one with kind of a different beach background every day for 5 days, you can just keep going back to these and just edit the text and make them something different, like just switch out the picture. And then when you're ready to post it, you just hit share and download it and upload it over to your social media. I recommend not using any platforms to share this all at once. I recommend just putting TikTok and Instagram and stuff on your phone, download these things and just, or on your laptop or whatever, and just post it directly, because that seems to always work the best. And then once you post it, you can basically just choose the music that you want to add, if you add music at all. Okay. But then that way you don't have to worry about, oh, did I add music that's going to cause a problem from Canva or whatever. And so, yeah, that's my recommendation on that. So that's my number one favorite thing to do. Okay. Those work super well. To my cucumber one on my TikTok channel had over 3 million views. So that one worked really good. Now, let's get into number two, because number two also works good. And here's the thing, like while these work, what works even better for you sort of building an audience and eventually being able to do something with that audience as far as doing paid promotions or maybe recommending products or that kind of thing, and ultimately making an income, is to have your face or like what you're doing in the video. Okay, so we're not going to do anything complicated. Like I said, there's no tech skills required here. There's no video editing, right? Now I just grabbed my phone, okay, and I'm going to show you this one right on the screen here. Okay, I'm just going to hit play on this and I'm going to show you what I did. So this is just a product. It's called Lead Creator. And if I were affiliate marketing, right, and doing like a channel and trying to grow my audience for that, then this is a really good technique to use. See, I'm not ever appearing in this video. What I do instead here is I just take my phone, and while I'm doing little stuff on my laptop, like in this video, I just show like how I'm creating a lead magnet in this Lead Creator tool. And all it takes is like push the green button, right? Answer a couple of prompt questions, okay? And that's what we show here, right? And I just give it a name and then I say, oh, do a 5-point listicle kind of thing. Give it a prompt and then hit publish, all right? And I tell it like I want it in first person or whatever. And then I just show the result. So you can see down here, now if I make this a little bigger at the bottom, okay, you can see that I have little chunks here. And the reason I have those chunks is not because I was doing some crazy video editing. It's just because the way I do the editing on this is I just record one little step at a time. And then again, you can upload that stuff right into the Canva app on your phone. Okay, you can even stitch these together in like Instagram and TikTok and stuff. So you could even skip this step of putting it in Canva altogether, and you could just add your voice and talk through it. Now, the reason I put these in Canva is because then I can do stuff like this. I can add my little text box here, right, and say learn more, because what I like to do in this kind of video is if I want people to actually go to the description for the video or click a link or something like that, then I'm going to just put a little text here at the end and an arrow. So see, like all I did was just search up my arrow, hit the background remover, move it around, right? And I just put a little text box on there that said learn more. So that's a super effective way to just show people like some of the stuff that you use, the tools that you're promoting, for example, to show people just kind of basic stuff that you're doing. Like you can literally just kind of like show yourself typing here for a little bit and then put some text on it. So that was 21 seconds. It was just 7 little tiny videos on my phone uploaded to Canva, and then it's ready to share as well. Okay, and I call that one the record what you see. Okay, now again, we can basically use AI to come up with, let's just say I was promoting Lead Creator. Okay, we can say, hey ChatGPT, hey, I'm doing affiliate marketing for a product called Lead Creator. Their sales page is at. What we can do is basically just go right over to their web page, okay, and then we can tell ChatGPT, okay, we'll enable search on the web. Their sales page is at this. Okay, so again, I'm going to put this prompt inside of my general prompt document, but this is like a super effective way to find some ideas, right? So that was one of the things is I know personally when I was doing a lot more social media, then one of the things that's always hard, and it's hard for me even with YouTube, is coming up with good ideas for videos. And you run out of ideas and then you start like running out of momentum quick. Okay, and AI has been a huge help for me in that respect. It's kind of like just having this assistant that I can bounce ideas off of all the time. So see, I pasted that in there, and now I've got all of these ideas. Okay, struggling to create lead magnets that convert. So that seems like a pretty good, I'm just going to copy that actually. Okay, because then what I can do is I can go over here onto my video, and let's just back all the way over here to the front. All right, and then that text is just going to become like what I put up here. All right, I'm just going to literally hit paste, boom, and I'm just going to put a background on it. I might make the text a little bigger, shrink it so it just fits on the screen in that square that I want. Okay, I'm just going to put it like right here in the middle. And then what I'm going to do is just hit this effects thing and background. All right, so then the text has a background, people can see it. I'm not even worried about the color. Play. And see, as soon as it goes to the next scene, that text goes away. So that's my hook at the beginning. Got a nice little hook. So that's how you can basically not only come up with ideas, but come up with a little text to put on your videos as well. Okay, so I hope you're seeing how powerful and easy it is to create videos, which we know kind of do the best on social media, without having to be like a video editor and without having to hire a video editor, without needing any software tools that cost, hundreds of dollars and stuff like that. Canva's super easy to use, and you can even do a lot of this in the free plan. So there's no real excuse for not being able to create this stuff. Okay. Now our third and final option here, and I think doing all three of these is really kind of like the most powerful method with all of this. Our third and final method is just going to be to create our own videos of ourselves. Okay, so in this one we're going to create a new video. All right, I'm just going to search up video. We'll do mobile again, but this time we're going to basically use video of ourselves. Now we don't even have to say anything. You can if you want, and you know what you can do is you can actually even have AI create a little script for you. So you could even do something like this, like you could hit record here. I'll just do this. Okay, put it on video. Actually put it on cinematic if you have that kind of option, because that just blurs the background. Make sure it's facing you, and then you just kind of hold it up here with your computer right here or something like that, and then you could just hit record and just say traditional pop-ups, not cutting it, lead creators, blurred teaser templates, and expiring URLs create urgency and intrigue, boosting your opt-in rates significantly. Okay, I just read one of the things, this one right here. I would probably go back to AI and say, I'm going to add this to the prompt document, but we need these sentences to be simpler to read and understand. Right, there's way too many big words in that little thing I just read there. All right, you want to make it easy to read for you, especially if it's easier for you to read, then it's easier for people to understand. But that's the kind of video we make, okay? Once that's recorded, it's just in your photos. You can just upload it into Canva. All right, super easy. Now let's do that, okay? So let's go over here to our new thing. I already recorded one before, just a little bit ago, okay? And right in here in our videos area is where that stuff is going to get uploaded to. If you need to grab the upload, just grab it. If you're on a Mac, you can see your photos there, but if you're not, you can always download the Canva app on your phone, and then you can directly put stuff from your photos into Canva on your phone, okay? Then you can work with it on your laptop and stuff, all right? So all I have to do, so this was the one. So this one I didn't even say anything, all right? What we'll do is just kind of the traditional old text. I'll just put a little text up there. I'll hit that effects button. We're just going to use our trusty old yellow background. And we'll just say something like, you know, one of the ones that was really effective there for secret AI tools they don't want you to know about, right? That's one of the classics right there. Okay. Now, here we go. We've got whatever it is, 10 seconds. Okay. I'm going to touch on this text like we did before. All right. And then I'm just going to make that only last for 1.5 seconds. So I'm just dragging it way down here. Click on my button and just zoom this so we can see it a little better. Okay. Secret AI tools they don't want you to know about. Okay. And then what we'll do is just starting over here, we'll add a new one. And we'll hit our effects button, make it have a background. Maybe this time we can change the color. All right, so maybe we'll make them like green or something. All right, secret AI tools they don't want you to know about. I don't know, I'm just making these up. Minimax AI. Okay, did I get that spelled right? Yeah. All right, so now see how that one drags the text when I have it highlighted here? I highlight the Minimax, see how it goes all the way across. So all we have to do is just drag that so it'll kind of like click so that it shows up right after this one disappears, okay? And then we'll just kind of shrink it down to be like 1 second. And we'll add another piece of text. What was another one that we like? Cling, all right. Again, we'll just, with that text highlighted, we'll drag that one so it comes after Minimax. And then we'll just make it like 1 second. Okay, and then all you have to do is just kind of from your AI, like ChatGPT, get your list of AI tools that you can recommend, all right? So let's go back to the beginning here and you can see how this looks. So it's got me. I don't even have to say anything. Boom. Yeah, that's an easy way to create these videos for social media, okay? So hope that helps. Hope that AI helps you. You can see like with these prompts and stuff that I'll give you, like it overcomes the part about getting stuck with what to post. And if we just keep it simple and use a tool like Canva and our phone, we can create 3 different types of posts that we can regularly put on our social media that grow your audience and basically give them variety, help them understand that it's you and your personality, but at the same time also being able to do a bunch of faceless type videos so you don't have to be on the camera all the time every day, right? So, and the cool thing is, like with these, is I can reuse this over and over again, this background of me, right? So I really only need to record like 10 of these. Maybe if I just do one a day for every week or, you know, something like that, so just so I have different clothes on and stuff and different backgrounds, like you can just start reusing these once they're uploaded and then come in and put text on there, right? So you don't have to even have the excuse of, oh, it's too early in the morning to make a video like that. So you never have to have those excuses like that. You'll be ready to go, okay? So I hope that helps you out. Listen, if this was valuable to you, please feel free to join that community. You're invited. I'd love to have you in there. And the link to that is down in the description. Hey, if you're interested in that lead creator tool, I'll put a link to that down in the description as well. It's pretty cool. So you can check that out. And listen, hit subscribe if you're not already a subscriber to the channel. I'd love to have you on board, and we will see you in the next video.